In today's video, we showcase some of the world's most pointless large-scale undertakings, including the transformation of the world's most barren airport into a rice storage facility, the abandonment of a stadium located in the heart of the Amazon rainforest, the construction of an enormous hotel in one of the world's least visited countries, and a scientific project that consumed billions of dollars without achieving its intended goals. Number 5. Brazil's controversial stadium in the rainforest. Brazil, a nation deeply passionate about football, was thrilled to host the 2014 Football World Cup. However, the country had to make significant renovations to prepare for this event, including constructing 12 new football stadiums and refurbishing some old ones. The project was enormous, costing Brazil a whopping $11 billion. Despite the immense cost, the country was eager to showcase its love for football to the world. However, as is often the case with countries hosting World Cup events, the long-term economic viability of such mega-projects is questionable. Critics argue that the enormous costs and economic consequences are often disregarded in favor of delivering a spectacular show. One particularly questionable project was the construction of the Arena da Amazônia in Manaus, which took 4 years to build at a cost of approximately $250 million. The remote location of Manaus in the middle of the Amazon rainforest posed significant challenges in transporting materials to the construction site, which increased the overall cost of the project. Moreover, the stadium was used for only 4 matches during the World Cup, generating revenue that was nowhere near the spending. After the event, the stadium remained largely unused since the local clubs lacked a sufficient fan base to fill the 40,000-seat arena every week, and many residents could not afford the tickets. Thus, the maintenance costs and rent for the stadium exceeded the total revenue. The stadium was used for a few other events, such as the 2016 Olympic Games, but only for a few days. The Arena da Amazônia is now a stark reminder of how the funds spent on its construction could have been utilized to improve the lives of many Manaus residents. Number 4. China's abandoned ghost cities. China's rapid urbanization and economic growth in the early 2000s led to an explosion in the real estate industry, with the construction of mega projects, skyscrapers, and entire cities seemingly popping up overnight. However, not all of these projects were successful, and China now has several ghost cities that remain empty despite costing billions of dollars to build. One of the most prominent examples of these abandoned ghost cities is the Xiangyun International Project in Hebei Province. Developed for $3 billion, this city within a city was an 1,800-acre development in Shijiazhuang that was meant to be a high-end residential community, complete with theme parks, shopping complexes, and skyscrapers. The development was conveniently located next to a high-speed train stop and underground metro stations, making it easily accessible to residents. However, the project was abandoned and largely remains unused due to the developer being investigated for corruption and later jailed. As a result, thousands of homeowners have been unable to move in, and the already developed areas have started to deteriorate. The Xiangyun International Project is now a haunting reminder of the risks and consequences of unchecked real estate development and corruption. The development of the Xiangyun International Project is just one example of a larger trend in China's real estate industry. In recent years, the Chinese government has expressed concerns about the potential risks of the industry, including the creation of ghost cities, oversupply of housing, and inflated property values. These concerns have led to stricter regulations and policies aimed at controlling the industry's growth and preventing speculative investments. However, despite these efforts, the issue of abandoned ghost cities persists, with several other projects across China remaining empty and unused. While some of these projects are the result of poor planning or management, others, like the Xiangyun International Project, are the result of corruption and illegal activities. The cost of these abandoned ghost cities is not just financial but also social. The empty buildings and streets can have a profound impact on the surrounding communities, creating a sense of isolation and abandonment. Additionally, the resources and labor that went into building these projects could have been used for other purposes, such as improving infrastructure or addressing social needs. In conclusion, the Xiangyun International Project is just one example of the potential risks and consequences of unchecked real estate development and corruption. While China has made efforts to address these issues, the issue of abandoned ghost cities remains a challenge that will require ongoing attention and solutions. The cost of these abandoned projects goes beyond financial losses, impacting the social fabric of communities and highlighting the need for responsible and sustainable development. Number 3. The world's emptiest airport. In 2009, Sri Lanka had just ended a civil war and its president, Mahinda Rajapaksa, aimed to boost the country's economy. He planned to create a second commercial hub in the Hambantota region, 250 kilometers from the capital city Colombo. With China's assistance, a new seaport was built in the region, and Rajapaksa also wanted to build a second international airport in the nearby town of Matala. Despite a report advising against it, the government proceeded with the project, which was completed in 2013 and cost $210 million, with $190 million of it being loaned by China. Although the airport could handle 1 million passengers annually, it failed to attract enough traffic due to its poor location in a small city with a population of 20,000 people, poor transportation links, and lack of demand. The airport suffered huge losses, and even Sri Lanka's state airline stopped operating flights there. The airport was briefly used during the COVID-19 pandemic, but its future remains uncertain. Critics claimed the project was not economically viable and was developed merely because it was in Rajapaksa's home region. Number 2. America's largest failed science project. Today's list starts with a description of one of the biggest physics projects in history, the superconducting supercollider in Texas. This mega project, which aimed to build the world's most powerful particle accelerator, consisted of a circular tunnel system around Waxahachie. Particle accelerators are devices that use electric fields to accelerate charged particles to high speeds for research purposes. Despite the existence of thousands of particle accelerators worldwide since the 1930s, none could produce as much energy as the superconducting supercollider. The project began in 1983 and was approved by the Reagan administration in 1987. However, the project faced challenges, including massive budget overruns, and it had to be reconsidered. The estimated cost for the entire project was initially $4.4 billion, but this soon ballooned to $11 billion by 1993. By that time, $2 billion had already been spent, and the US government decided to pull the plug on the project. The efforts to build a high-energy particle collider continued in Europe, where the Large Hadron Collider was successfully built in 2008 for $5 billion. Today, parts of the SSC site in Waxahachie are occupied by a chemical manufacturing company. Number 1. The most useless hotel in the world. The next item on the list is a building known as the Tower of Doom, which happens to be the tallest unoccupied building in the world, located in North Korea. The country's government has strict policies on hosting tourists, and this has made it an unattractive destination for visitors. However, in the 1980s, North Korea had plans to host thousands of foreign visitors in the world's tallest hotel as a result of its rivalry with South Korea. To compete, North Korea started constructing a unique pyramid-shaped hotel in its capital, Pyongyang, which was supposed to be inaugurated on the eve of the 1989 World Festival of Youth. Unfortunately, engineering problems prevented the hotel's completion, and despite being built up to a height of 330 meters in 1992, it remained unfinished. The financial backer of the project, the Soviet Union, no longer existed by then, and the project was stalled. The construction was halted for 16 years until an Egyptian company took over and installed a glass facade and LEDs to the building's exterior for $180 million in 2012. However, North Korea's new political problems meant that the renewed efforts didn't last long either, and the building was abandoned again. Completion of the Ryugyong Hotel is estimated to cost upwards of $2 billion, which is about 5% of North Korea's total GDP. There is no official information available on the project's progress, and it seems unlikely to resume for a country with a lack of money like North Korea. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more about similar projects, be sure to check out part 1 of this series or our video about the biggest mega projects never finished. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content. See you in the next video.